Well, let's see what happens. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? It's me, San Martin, and Eric Knight here at the Prescott Executive Studios. We got something to talk about, so why don't you go ahead and tune in? But you're gonna have to wait for it because we got to start the party, and it goes like this. Welcome to the 863 Morning Show with your host, San Martin Rodriguez and Eric Knight. Oh man, it was a freaking one of those moments where I was like, "What in the world's going on?"
Oh, is it Friday? No, it's Thursday. Dang it!
You just messed it all up. Okay, so we have something that we want to talk about, but first, Eric always does this, and it's about one thing only. What day is it?
You ready for it?
Let's go.
Ask a stupid question day.
Ask a stupid question.
Ask a stupid question. Some say there are no stupid questions, just stupid answers. So don't hesitate to ask any stupid questions that comes to your mind.
What's that new meme that goes around and says, mess around and find out?
Yep.
There's like this little, what will happen if you
mess around
or ask questions.
Ask too many questions.
Ask too many questions, you'll find out.
It could be, yeah. It could be.
So today's topic of conversation is literally going to be about what just happened just recently. No names have been sent out, but there was another fatality on Highway 89A. Now, this is the huge topic of conversation currently right now inside of all of our communities. First off, here, I'll just show you guys the image that was presented.
So have you ever had a problem on that road?
I don't travel that road enough to actually, what would you say, have any of these issues or have ever seen an actual accident. I mean, one day, I was driving to Chino Valley to go to this meeting or whatever, and there was an accident right in front of the school, in front of Chino Valley High School, right there on Highway 89. Mm-hmm. And that's like the prone accident area that is inside of Chino Valley. But you know what is needed in order for people to actually really...
I don't know how to fix it except for making it a split highway, because I can tell you I've been in an accident on there 2 years ago, literally in the bus coming from Williams. And this is, we're talking a big bus, and literally right by Drake, somebody in a truck, they peeked out to pass, and then just boom, hit the side of my bus and took out the mirror and took out their mirror, and it was not pretty. Fortunately, I mean, it's 4 more inches and that they would have been done. I mean, we're talking about a 50,000 pound bus. I mean, that's
so this is a conversation for you guys. I mean, you guys all out there drive the road
2 lanes each side.
I mean, even if there's 2 lanes, I mean, we tried that 2-lane thing on Highway 69, and they just ended up putting that big old medium.
But it works now.
It does, but I guess it hasn't really been congested in general. But it is what it is. I mean, there's more people driving on our roads that don't really know our roads, and so when they travel, like say for instance, Highway 89A from Ashport to Chino Valley, it's a 2-lane highway. Mm-hmm. And people just don't want to wait, especially those big old trucks that are coming from Drake.
And I get it. Just getting stuck behind one of those sucks, but at the same time, is it worth your life?
Yeah. So let me go ahead and
I was thinking about this yesterday when I saw the news article. I was like, okay, they can make it no passing, right? But does that fix the problem too, or not?
I don't technically think it's going to fix the problem, but just so that you guys know what's going on. Yesterday around, I think it was 8 a.m., 9 a.m. 9 a.m. in the morning, the response team were dispatched to a devastating accident involving a vehicle and a semi-truck on State Route 89 at milepost 336 near Big Chino Wash in Paulin, Arizona. The incident resulted in a tragic fatality, which all fatalities are tragic, just FYI. But the Central Arizona Fire and Medical Department, along with local law enforcement agency, responded swiftly. And then that whole road was blocked, and it really caused a major like setback for several people. But what can we do to go ahead and help fix these?
I don't know.
Well, here's another thing that's going down right now. They're doing what do you call it, a survey right now in regards to that new junction from 89A to Park Plaza, Prescott Park Lakes. And people are in it and people are against it. So I'm trying to figure out what in the world is.
And so we're talking. So this is what is this called? It's called something. Sundog.
Sundog Connector.
Have you been to where it's the sign right there at the
Yep.
jail? It says Sundog Connector. I was like, where the heck is that going to go? There's a mountain there.
Yeah, and this is the conversation that's going on right now, and they're asking for public comment. And a lot of people are like, no, don't do it. And a lot of people are like, yes, do it. And some of the things that I have been seeing online is that the survey is asking, where should you I mean, the driving is obviously one of those things. And if you guys ever been into our traffic, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you haven't seen traffic yet. We don't want to see that traffic.
No.
I don't care what world you live in. Nobody wants to see that type of traffic.
Right. That's not a good thing. It's not like a hold my beer. Speaking of,
Yeah.
Logan is saying it's National Drink a Beer Day. It is. So they're going to add to that too. But yeah, nobody wants that kind of traffic.
Yeah. And so here's one. I didn't read the whole entire thing, but it's this, the Facebook user. I don't know who you are, so thank you for even actually participating. My husband works for a tow company, and there's so many fatalities out there. One time we were in a motorhome, and this one car was serving in and out and almost got into a head-on right in front of us. It is very scary.
There's a lot of people that are come on and like I'm laying on the horn, in big old air horns because literally they're out of time. To do that cutover. And so there's some dangerous passing, but with the 169 is just as bad.
Yes.
The 169, and nobody wants to get stuck behind a big car.
Nobody
But at the same time, what I did find interesting? So there are no passing lanes. So I understand the cost to put 4-lane, the whole thing is a lot, right?
Yep.
Just that Drake Bridge alone is going to cost millions of dollars to expand it, right? But why don't they install some passing lanes there?
This is one of those questions that everybody wants to know,
because there is not a single passing lane.
Nobody wants growth. Nobody wants to
from the tail end of Chino Valley all the way to the I-40. There is not one single passing lane. So I understand. I mean, that's an hour drive. People get frustrated.
Very, very frustrated. I'm going to actually put on the screen right now kind of the conversation that was going on our Facebook post. And this is not to put anybody on blast. This is just to go ahead and have a conversation. And our conversation is really honestly needs to be happening, and our officials need to hear about it. The people of Prescott and the drivers on our roadways need to hear about it. So Patty Corey says drivers don't stay in their own lane. I can tell you how many times we've near missed oncoming cars. Very scary. It's everywhere, not just 89. Copper Basin as one of the worst. Everyone, please stay focused and be careful out there.
And so Jonathan's got a good one too. Drive to Drake every day. I've seen 3 wide way many times. Also being involved in. I mean, that's the thing. The other thing is, what I've noticed a lot in town, man, the red light running is insane. Like we're not even we used to joke that was pink, right? You're in the intersection, it changes from yellow to red.
Yep.
These are they're 5 feet from the intersection and people blow through. And so I was telling my daughter, who's been driving for like 2 years, I'm like, just assume they're going to run it.
Yep.
Just because
always look both ways.
On the way to work daily, I see 3 people run not a pink light, like a red light.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I mean,
whoa.
Sometimes
where did that didn't you
sometimes the time frame and stuff is just automatically just goes through. So there's no warning.
Right.
In Phoenix, they actually do a countdown with the you can see the countdown as you're driving up to it, and you're
talking about the walk sign.
Yeah, the walk sign.
Yeah,
and
we have some.
You
but
can
not
acknowledge that light is going to change soon, and from a distance. So maybe there's something that they can possibly do.
So my mom, a long time ago, that was actually, she taught me when I was driving. Even before they had the countdown, when the sign went from flashing to stop, you knew the light was going to change.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and it's just an alert. I mean, everybody should have an alert, especially on those roadways. But to go back to some of these comments, I mean, these comments are actually really like everybody that's been through something.
Larry's saying the same thing in Chino.
Yep.
Don't dare enter an intersection in Chino Valley until you are sure the crossing traffic would stop. Absolutely.
Okay, so here's one. My wife and I were almost in the head-on the other day. Thankfully, there was enough road for me and the 2 bikers behind me to swerve. Like, this is crazy. Irish Springs is getting 2 passing lanes because of increased traffic.
Where?
SR 89.
Over down towards, I know where. Okay. Yeah.
And SR 89 needs them due to increased fatalities. Also,
And the
SR
169.
Yep.
Yeah, they're both 169 and 89. I think are the worst. I told you, like, we came back from a trip a year and a half ago. Drove all over the country. I drove to Florida and back. Drove all the way through central Texas, like boring 2-lane roads, like, and the roads were wider, and they were definitely less stressful. The most stressful part of the trip was driving on 89 coming back.
Okay, so here's another topic of conversation for the city of Prescott is that they want to go ahead and widen the area by Dells. And people are like, no, leave the Dells alone. And I'm like, all right, do we want the double lanes or we do not want the double lanes? Like it doesn't make sense.
All right, so Gloria's got a thing. So I don't know if Gloria remembers. I'm guessing Gloria's been here a long time. Coming out of Diamond Valley at 69, almost every time someone goes through that red light, that's why they had to put those barriers in, because they used to call that Death Alley.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of accidents that would happen right through Diamond Valley there. It was crazy. Yeah.
Well, these are road assessments. I mean, who technically is in charge of all these roadways in our area?
Different agencies.
They're all different agencies, but how come nobody's getting on board? We just had a conversation in Dewey Humble, and they were talking about a road that was blocked because it was on private property, which was the farm. Yeah, the farms, Mortimer Farms. And the conversation is like, you need to stop blocking that. Well, first of all, they don't need to do anything. It's private land. They were just basically gifting to everybody. But then they started saying, well, there's no really easy access for bus drivers to get out of Dewey Humble to basically enter the highway safely. And I'm like thinking, well, as who's running this show? Like, who is running the show that will actually help put that into perspective?
And Larry's got a point. So one thing he remembers, and this is old data, this isn't new data, because I bet you it costs $2 million a mile now, but that it used to cost $1 million per mile to build a roadway. I think it's way more than that now.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to pay more in taxes. All of 89 is the responsibility of ADOT. I don't know about you, but if you check the price of my license plates, they haven't gone down. The car's getting older. The plates keep going up. So where's the money going?
Jeez. I mean, okay, so the conversation is what can we do and how can we go ahead and help facilitate some plan of action so no more fatalities. Well, I mean, roadways are just unsafe in general, but fatalities is not the headline that we want to go ahead and keep on posting at the Prescott Times. It just doesn't make no sense to have those type of things if we could go ahead and alleviate some of the stress of driving on these roadways. But then again, impairment could be also a factor. I'm not saying that this one actually has the impairment factor because it was so early in the morning. It was just probably somebody that just left their home late. And I mean, I'm not saying that this was the speculation, but these are some of the things that causes some of these accidents that could be very avoided.
Yeah, there's barely even I
haven't gotten in an accident for a very long time.
I know it's barely. Well, I got hit on Willow Creek. Same thing.
Yes.
You know, again, there's no room. The problem is the person that hit me on Willow Creek. Unfortunately, they were in front of them. They were doing the sweeper. And
they wanted to pass it.
And they wanted to pass it, and bam.
Didn't even look in their mirror. Didn't even wait.
So no, I don't think the city should have had a sweeper out there during rush hour. You know, around those bends. Like, I feel bad for the person, but the city should not have had a sweep. Don't do your sweeping.
Don't they
on the
do
busiest
like a
road?
Party?
No, it said City of Prescott right on the sweeper. But don't do that at 8 o'clock in the morning. Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
where's the common sense?
Just one more comment from the comment section on our Facebook page. Christopher Gibbons was, what do you want them to do? It's not a bleep road. Well, it was not that bad of a cuss word. I just wanted to bleep it.
Make it sound bad.
Make it sound bad.
Yeah.
It's the people, just like the gun debate. It's not the guns. I probably shouldn't even say that on here. Well, it's the people that there's a way where they'll widen the road or install a barrier down the middle. I mean, these are the things that could possibly happen.
And so look at Larry's point. 2 largest primary collision factors are distracted drivers and excessive speed. Absolutely. And we have a lot more of both than we did 10 years ago. But you try getting your car into a body shop up here.
Yeah,
that's the business you should be in. I mean, that tells you something.
I was in that business, and there's a lot of crazy wrecks.
They're full. They're months out to get things repaired. So what does that say?
Yeah, we do have a PIO officer we could contact. I actually had his card, and I need to figure out where in the sea of cards. I gotta find out where I put it. I wish I had one distinct spot where I just put all these business cards.
On lighter news, being safe on the road, Kyle's in Cactus Pete's, Jackpot, Nevada.
I never heard of it.
I don't know, but I saw lots of open road and land out there.
All right, guys. Well, today is one of those kind of conversations that need to be brought up, and it needs to be brought up very, like almost on a regular basis because accidents on these major roadways, the most traveled roadways, are there's an accident once a week, twice a week, twice a month, 3 times a month. And what does that do? Wholeheartedly through not only the cost and also the cost of life. I mean, this is getting to the point where it's like it has to be talked about, and somebody with a very good what a mindset that needs to come out and be like, you know what you should do. And these are some great ideas for the red light runners. There is an indication that every one of those roadways out in Phoenix, Arizona, and I remember driving down there is like when that thing starts counting,
Yep.
you have enough time.
And again, we have them. Those are downtown. Yeah.
And I know that what they do for fire trucks is that they actually light up the top of it and it starts blinking because they know that there's a fire truck coming
It's
through.
called a strobe detector they've got up there. Yeah.
And those things are pretty awesome. I think that's a way to go ahead and I mean, it might be a little bit of distracting, but at the same time, there's something that could possibly alert those that are in need of wanting to pass a car, wanting to run a red light.
Yeah.
Like these are things that need to be talked about. But at the same time, I mean, we've been driving for how many years now, guys? And if we can't get it right now, will it ever get right? So,
and these could just these cars are not cheap to fix.
they're not. They're
No.
not.
I've seen little. It's like, oh, that was a little dent, and then they're like $10,000. Like what? Like, so definitely avoid the whole thing.
Yep. So, guys, there's a lot of things that we should possibly be talking about. This was the topic of very much every conversation in the city, the county, the citizens of Prescott Valley in regards to the Sundog connector, in regards to the widening of 89A. The Dells, obviously the Chino Valley corridor to Paulden to Ashford, very, very much needs to be addressed. And I think ADOT is the key player to some of these roadways that we are discussing because they are the official person that's supposed to be managing those. So somebody needs to say something.
All right. I think it's a good note to leave it on.
Yep.
From Chino Valley to Ash Fork is about 30 miles. If you drive 10 miles over the speed limit, you'll get from end to end 5 minutes faster. Is it worth it for five? Is it worth a life for 5 minutes?
Well, you got to check the math on that because I don't know if you go faster. I mean, I don't know.
No. The only time you really pick up time when you go 5 or 10 miles over the speed limit is when you're going long distances. And so, that's a lot of people forget that. They go to short distances and they think that it's going to make it. And I actually laugh when people just blow by me and then we're at the light together. So
some people is like, my car only goes so fast.
Yep.
It needs to go fast.
Yep.
Guys, it is what it is. It happens. Just the only thing that we could do is be a little bit more alert. Leave earlier if you have to be in a location. Plan ahead so you don't have to be that person on the roadways that causes these things. There was a motorcycle accident, and one person was like, "Come on, guys, watch out for those motorcycle riders." And another person was like, "That's the same guy that was weaving in and out of the traffic that was causing near miss accidents." So some stuff can be avoided. You just got to go ahead and be very much diligent with everything and everybody.
Well, thanks for listening to our soapbox today, and hopefully,
hopefully we get somewhere.
Hopefully, it just made one person not get in a head-on today.
Yes. So. They'll be watching this while you guys are driving.
And they'll be watching it while they're driving, and
they'll be like, "Oh, that would be awful. Don't do that."
But then they're like, "Oh, maybe I should not try to pass this car today."
Yes. All right. Just FYI, guys, you can watch this any time of the day. Just tune in while you're safe. So with that being said, I'm out of here. Peace, love, and happiness. And remember, love always wins. Peace.